Hey everyone, good evening. Yes, I'm sorry for being late. There was some technical glitch. Yes, good evening, Fenil. Yes, Deepak, namaskaram. So we have Khyati here. Hello, always learning. Hi, Puneet. JP Power, Shruti Thakur. Yes, good evening, Gungun Tagore. I am doing good, thank you. Good evening, Deepak Dinesh, Yasharth Kesarwani. Hi, Nikesh. Good evening, Riya. Hi, Lavya, Disha Bhatt, Aman Yadav, Kelvin. Yes. All right, all right. So I'm visible and audible to everyone. Yes, there is no glitch at all. So we can start. My name is Khushbu and a very, very warm welcome to yet another wonderful session. So we all know what we are going to study today, right? So today I'll be discussing the part 2 of Maths Term 2 Marathon, right? We discussed a few of the chapters, 4 chapters in part 1. So rest of the 3 chapters we will be covering today. Yes. Alright, excited for part 2? Yes, I am excited too. Alright, let's not waste any more time here because we have to cover 3 chapters, right? And we know that it's going to be a long session because so many things we are going to cover. Alright. So let's move on. Let's start with our first topic, that is some applications of trigonometry. So here is the first question. So we all are done with this chapter, right? These are the final stages of your academic year. You are done with the NCERT books, with NCERT Exemplar, like so many other books also. So now you know how to solve the question. So this question is for you to solve yourself. Alright. So the question is, a man in a boat rowing away from a lighthouse 100-meter high takes 2 minutes to change the angle of elevation of the top of the lighthouse from 60 degrees to 30 degrees. Find the speed of the boat in meters per minute, right? Yes. So quickly you have to solve this question and I'm giving you 60 seconds to solve it. Let's start the timer. Yes. Where is the question? It's on the screen only, Sukhjot. Yes. Sanvi, I can't see question. Why? It's visible. It's right in front of me. Yes. That's okay, Disha. Niriksha says, can't see question. Jonathan can't see. Yasharth, question is not visible. How is it possible? I can see the question. It's right in front of me. Here it is. What's going on? Sukhjot, where is the question? Not visible. Not in screen, ma'am. I can see the question. I just read it out. Avantika, is it working fine? Yeah. Yeah. My team says it's fine. There is no glitch at all. Yeah? Come on, quickly solve it. The timer is running. If it is not working fine, please refresh the screen once. Quickly refresh the screen. Yes? It's fine, right? Yeah. My team is saying it's fine. See, time is up. No one has replied till now. Question is not visible. How come? Yay! April Fool! I think Deepak guessed it. Yes? Yes. Before we started this session, Hemant said, किसी ने April Fool बनाया आज? I think Disha was the one who said, मैं April Fool नहीं बनती. Yes, April Fool's Day, right? It was so easy to prank you. All right. That was nice, right? Only Deepak was able to guess it. Amazing. All right, so no, there was only one student who guessed it. Not everyone. Everyone was like, screen, I can't see the question. Where is the question, ma'am? Okay. So, all right, so jokes apart, now let's start with the session. So today I'll be covering the rest of the questions of the marathon part 2. So let's see what we have for you. So these are the topics that we'll be covering today. Some applications of trigonometry, surface areas and volumes, and statistics. Yes, Shararti ma'am. Amazing, Fennel. That's nice. I'm so glad. Thank you, Suhani. Yes, legends can guess it. Thank you, Ms. Sony. All right. So these are the 3 chapters I'll be covering. One by one, we'll pick up the chapters. Let's start off with some applications of trigonometry first, right? So first of all, these are the topics that we have in this chapter. Like the term 2 syllabus that you have basically. So this is some basic terminologies we will cover first, and assumptions that we make while solving the questions, and trigonometric ratios of some specific angles. For some common angles we need to know, right? Okay, so let's first take a look at the basic terminologies that we have here. So we all know the basic terminologies though, let's do a quick revision of it. So if the object is viewed in a straight line, is straight ahead, then the line of sight is same as the horizontal level, right? So if this is the object here, here the observer is. So horizontal line and line of sight, that's the same thing in that case, right? Then what is line of sight? So the line drawn from the eyes of an observer to a point on the object that is to be viewed, that's called your line of sight. Alright, this is clear to everyone. Alright, so let's take a look at the next term that we have here. So this is about angle of elevation, right? You can see the observer is here and this is the object, right? So here this is the line of, this is the horizontal level, right? And this is the line of sight, which is in between the object to be viewed and the person who is observing it. That's the line of sight, and the angle which is made here, that's called the angle of elevation. So this angle is found by the line of sight with the horizontal when the point being viewed is above the horizontal level. That means when we are looking up at something to view it, then an angle of elevation is formed. Yes, this is clear. BYJU'S mock exam result, it will be announced on April 5th. Yes. All the very best, Lavanya. Above the horizontal, right, Sukhjot? That's angle of elevation. Now screen is not visible. It's working fine for others. Disha, refresh the screen once. Yes, we're just doing a quick recap of what we have learned earlier. And coming to angle of depression, right? Angle of depression is angle formed between the line of sight and the horizontal when the point being viewed is below the horizontal level. So when we are looking down to view an object, then angle of depression is formed, right? All right. Now let's take a look at the few of the assumptions that we have to make while solving the questions. So angle of elevation, when we say, let's take an example to understand this. Of the top of the Qutub Minar, which is 73 meters high, right? Away, Qutub Minar 73 meter away from its base is 45 degrees, like you can see here, right? And obviously in the exam, you will not be using the 3D objects. You will represent them using the solid lines. So here Qutub Minar is represented by this straight line, and this eye of the observer is with this point object. Yes? Screen not clear. अब मेरा April Fool बना रहे हो क्या? Screen not visible. Yes? Right. मेरे साथ prank करने का try कर रहे हो अब. All right. So we represent this 3D by a vertical line, and we represent the observer as a point object. Then we label everything. Yes, labeling is very important. Label everything. First of all, when it comes to application of trigonometry, keep one thing in mind, that you have to draw the figure on your answer sheets using a ruler and a pencil. Do not use a pen. Also, everything needs to be mentioned. Proper labeling has to be there. Whatever angle is mentioned in the question, you have to mention it. Whatever we are assuming, like this BC is representing Qutub Minar over here. So you have to mention that here BC is representing the Qutub Minar. Everything needs to be mentioned. Yes? Now it's difficult for me to trust you guys, honestly. Jonathan says it's visible. Shamdhari says, ma'am, not visible. Yes? Kriti Jaiswal, ma'am, please show the questions. Yes. Shubham Kumar, ma'am, screen is not visible. I hope it's working fine for all of you. Kuldeep saying no visible, JJ visible. Why not with pen? We cannot use pen. No, no, no. Whatever chapter it is, doesn't matter. Do not draw the figures with a pen. Use ruler and pencil for it. It's visible, yes? Okay, so मेरे साथ prank करने का try कर रहे थे. Okay, great. So this was about the basic terminologies and the assumptions that we need to make while solving the questions. Now let's move ahead with the previous year questions. So some important questions I'll be covering now. So this question came in CBSE 2019. This came in 4 marks. A man in a boat rowing away from a lighthouse 100 meters high takes 2 minutes to change the angle of elevation of the top of the lighthouse from 60 degrees to 30 degrees. Find the speed of the boat in meters per minute. So this is the lighthouse and this is the boat, right? So this lighthouse is 100 meters high. let's change the color. Lighthouse is 100 meters high, right? So a man is rowing in this boat that you can see on the screen, right? And it takes him 2 minutes to change the angle of elevation of the top of the lighthouse from 60 degree to 30 degree. So man is here, right? He is looking at the top of the lighthouse, okay? So when he looks at the lighthouse, you can see that first angle of elevation is formed from here. It is 60 degree. After 2 minutes, right, he moves a little distance away from the lighthouse and then angle of elevation changes to 30 degree. So the change in position, this take 2 minutes, right? We have to find out the boat of the speed in meters per minute. Yes, quickly. Oh, I can see the answers. Yes. Okay, let's check what the right answer is. We will take a look at a proper solution. So first of all, you will mention that the height of the lighthouse is represented by AD over here. You have to mention it, right? Then angle ABD is 60 degree, angle ACD is 30 degrees. Tan 60 degree, one by one I am picking up the triangles. Tan 60 degree is AD by AB. So AB would be equals to 100 by root 3. This is going to be my first equation. I hope this is clear. किसी ने मेरे साथ prank किया? नहीं, आज मैंने सबसे पहले आप लोगों के साथ किया है. Yes. Yes, Pawan has given the answer. Okay, I hope this is clear. First triangle में how to use the trigonometry. Absolutely, Disha. Oh, wow. You heard the question carefully, that means. Is it necessary to write all the info given in the questions? Info given in the question when it comes to some application of trigonometry, yes, it is necessary. Reason being, you are using this information and you would draw a figure using solid lines. So how the examiner would know what is AD here? Obviously, you are not going to show a 3D object. Here we are showing you the 3D objects, but in the exam it won't be possible for you. So how the examiner would know what is AD here, what is BC here? So you have to mention it, right? Please make it a point or write it somewhere, because I think by the time you will write your boards, you are going to forget this. You can write in your NCERT book only at the beginning of this chapter that this is mandatory, that we have to show these steps, this given information. Yes. Oh, Fenil, I'm feeling bad actually. Most frequently asked questions from maths. Yes, I'm discussing those only. So this is the first question. Now in this triangle ACD, this one, right? Here tan 30 I'll be using, and then AD by AC, perpendicular by base, right? So AD over here is 100. So this tan 30 is 1 by root 3. That's going to be 100 root 3. This is my second equation. So now what I'll do is simply distance traveled by the boat. The boat has traveled from B to this point C. I need BC. So simply from AC I'll subtract AB. That works, right? So 100 root 3 minus 100 by root 3. Let's take LCM here. So this is root 3. This is going to be 300 minus 100. You get 200 by root 3. Yes. So speed of the boat. What is speed? Speed is distance traveled by time taken, right? So distance by time. What is the distance till here? That's 200 by root 3, right? And this is what? This is BC. That's given. So that's going to be 5 upon 3 root 3 meters per minute. That's going to be our final answer. Yes. See, no need to give the answers in proper decimal. This will also work. Yes. It's not required to give the answers in proper decimals. Yes. All right. Let's move ahead. Let's take a look at the next question now. So an aeroplane is flying at a height of 300 meters above the ground. Flying at this height, the angle of depression from the aeroplane of 2 points on both banks of a river in opposite directions are 45 degrees and 30 degrees respectively. Find the width of the river. Yes. Why is it 120? Okay, let me see. This is in seconds. This is converted into seconds. So ideally, it's basically meter per second, right? So when we are talking about meter per minute, you can leave it as it is. This is going to be 200 by root 3, right? And 2 minutes, right? So this is going to be 200 by root 3 into 1 by 2. That's basically 100 by root 3 meter per minute. Or you can rationalize it also. Yes. I hope I have answered to your question. So this is basically meter per second, right? Sanvi, Sanjay Kumar, yes. Sanjay RK, I hope this is clear. Sonali saying, right. Yes, in the question it is asked meter per minute. So answer here is in basically meter per second actually. So when you are finding out in meter per minute, it's going to be this, but in meter per second, it's going to be 5 by 3 root 3. Yes, because obviously 2 minutes was already given, Thank you, Fennel. No need to convert in kilometer per hour. Not required. In the question, it itself says meters per minute, right? Otherwise, if it is not mentioned, you can give the answer in meter per second only. Ma'am, पर question में तो नहीं लिखा कि 2 minutes, seconds में है. It is 2 minutes. Yes. If it is not mentioned in the question, then convert it in seconds, meter per second, because that's the SI unit basically. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. I hope this is clear to everyone. Yes. Ishika is saying yes. 400 by root 3. How come, Ishika? 400 by root 3. Yes. See, speed of the boat is 200 by root 3. I'm sorry, the distance. This is what it has traveled. And we are dividing this with the time taken. Time it has taken 2 minutes. So when I'm dividing with 2 minutes, simply this is 2 by 1. This becomes 1 by 2. So that's 100 by root 3. 100 by root 3, I'll have to rationalize it then. Right? That's going to be 100 root 3 by 3, or you can say. Yes. Alright, this is clear to everyone. Let's move ahead. So this question you have to try it by yourself. So aeroplane is flying at a height of 300 meters above the ground. Flying at this height, the angle of depression of the aeroplane from 2 points on both banks of a river in opposite directions are 45 degree and 30 degree respectively. Find the width of the river. Giving you 60 seconds to solve this question. Quickly solve this and give your answers in the comment section. Yes. Yes, I'm waiting. Okay. 1902. This is not in any of the options. JP Power. JP Power says it's B. Ankit, it's C. Venkatesh, easy one, yes? Okay, some are saying B, C. Pavan is saying 301 plus root 3. How come you got the answer so fast? We had this question for today's pre-board. Wow. See, that's what I am telling you. So we are discussing the ones which are important from exam point of view. So if you do not want to do the entire chapter again, right? So you can just go through these sessions and just revise the chapter. Yes. Option B. Maximum people are saying, let's check the answer. Absolutely, it's option B. All right. So let's take a look at the solution of this, right? So here, this is the plane, right? And it is at a height of 300 meter above the ground, and on the banks of the river, the opposite banks, you can see that angle of depression is formed 45 degree, 30 degrees, right? So simply what we will do is, let's take a look at this. So we have labeled this figure, right? So this height BD, this is actually going to be 300 meters, right? This height. Yes. And angle DAB, these are alternate angles. So this will be 45 degree and this would be 30 degrees. Now in this triangle ABD, I can say tan 45 would be equals to BD upon AB, right? So AB would be equal to 300. That's equation number 1. In this triangle BCD, it's tan 30 equal to BD by BC. So that's going to be 300 root 3. That's equation number 2. Yes. JP Power was the first one to answer this question. Wow. And he gave the right answer also. So width of the river is AC, right? This is the width of the river. We need to find out this. It is going to be AB plus BC. So simply 300 root 3 plus 300, I'll add up the values and we get 819.61 meters. That's the right answer. Yes. This is clear, right? All right. So everyone has understood. Let's move ahead. Now we will discuss the important NCERT questions. Okay, let's take a look at this. So 1.5 meter tall boy is standing at some distance from a 30 meters tall building. The angle of elevation from his eyes to the top of the building increases from 30 degree to 60 degree as he walks towards the building. Find the distance he walked towards the building. Okay, so first of all we will see how to make the figure. So 1.5 meter tall boy is standing at some distance from the building. So this is the building and this is the boy, 1.5 meter tall. Building's height is 30 meters, boy's height is 1.5 meters. The angle of elevation, definitely from his eyes, so he is looking above, to the top of the building. So he is looking at the top of the building. Angle of elevation increases from 30 to 60. Angle is changing as he walks towards the building. So first the angle of elevation, this is going to be 30, then he walks towards the building. This changes to 60 degrees, right? Okay, now let's just label it. So this is A, E, D, F, this is F, C, G, B. You can just label the figure. Once it is labeled, you just have to mention what information is given in the question, like height of the boy ED, that's 1.5 meters, height of the building AB, that's 30 meters, and then you mention the angles that we have here. Yes, and then simply AG, this AG, this is going to be what? Entire height is 30. This is 1.5, so this much part is also 1.5. I'll subtract 1.5 from 30, so I'll get the AG. That's going to be 28.5 meters, right? That's AG over here. Alright, then what we will do here is in this triangle AEG, the bigger one, I can say tan 30 would be AG by EG. So tan 30 is 1 by root 3, 28.5 upon EG, right? You cross multiply it, you get the first equation. So EG is this. Now in this triangle AFG, I can simply say tan 60 degrees AG by FG. So root 3, 28.5 by FG. Let's put everything here, and on rationalizing we get the value of FG also. So I can say, I'll just simplify this, we get FG, that's 9.5 root 3. This is 9.5 root 3 meters. That's the FG, right? Right, so this EF, this is the distance that he has walked towards the building. So we have these two values. I'm just going to subtract this EF from the entire EG. What do we get? We get 19 root 3 meters because EF and CD both are equal. So simply I can say CD is going to be equals to 19 root 3. So this is the distance that he has walked towards the building. Absolutely right answer. Yes, yes. Right, Anchita. But I'm glad that your paper went well. That's the main thing. Right? You all are right. You all have given the right answer. Pavan, Ashna, Soni, Charvi. Yes. Darshini. Step 3. Step 3 basically, Shruti, we have the value of EG, right? You have the value of FG also. So to get this value EF, you are simply going to subtract them. You get 19 root 3. Now EF and CD are both equal. So I can say this is the distance that he has walked towards the building. Yes. Yes, Swati, with step. Quickly, whenever you have a doubt, you can just tell me the step number. Dakshita, thank you. Right. Okay. So here simply what we have done is, after drawing this figure, we know that this is the boy's height 1.5 and this is the building's height. So you will get AG, right? That's going to be 28.5, right? So once we have AG, in these two triangles one by one you can apply trigonometry. So tan 30 is AG by EG. From here you get the value of AG. Similarly, tan 60 is AG by FG, right? In the bigger triangle. I'm sorry, in the smaller triangle. So from here we get this value. That's 9.5 root 3. Right? Simply we will subtract them. We will get EF. EF and CD both are equal. So from here we get the distance that he has walked towards the building. Right? The tan part, Swati. Swati, this, see, this in this triangle small one, this is 28.5. So simply I can say tan 60 is 28.5 upon FG. Tan 60 is root 3, so 28.5 upon FG. You take root 3 down to the other side and you just have to rationalize this then. So FG is 28.5 root 3 by 3. You cancel this out, you get, I think, 9.5 root 3, right? Like this. This is simple. That also works, Soumya. That's also fine. Alright, let's move ahead to the next question, and that question you have to solve. So as observed from the top of a 75-meter lighthouse from the sea level, the angle of depression of two ships are 30 degrees and 45 degrees. If one ship is exactly behind the other on the same side of the lighthouse, find the distance between the two ships, right? So 4 options you have here, and I'm giving you 60 seconds. Quickly solve this question. Oh, Hari has given the answer. So quick. He says it's A. Deepa says A, Nikesh says A. Same thing. NCERT question आते ही answers की tsunami आ जाती है, right? और answers बहुत fast आते हैं. Everybody is saying it's A. Have you even solved this question or you knew the answer since it's an NCERT question? Yes? Swati says, Gungun says 75 root 3 minus 1. Option A. Maitri, Shubham Kumar. Yes. Jenny, Abu Thair, Rahima, right. Mokshita. Everybody is saying option A. No confusion in this, yeah? So all of us know how to solve this. Great. So time is up. Let's see the right answer. Yes, it's option A. Right. So let's take a quick look at the solutions. So 75-meter lighthouse is here and you can see the two ships, right, which are, one is exactly behind the other on the same side of the lighthouse, and we can see the angles over here. Okay. Yes. Yes, Anshita, NCERT का पूरा रट्टा मार के याद हो जाता है, इतनी बार practice करी है. That's fine. It's good if you have practiced it so many times. That's nice. So, height of the lighthouse, that's AB, which is 75 meters, and we mention all the angles. This is important, yes, you mention everything, whatever we are assuming. So these angles are alternate angles, right? ADB is going to be 30 degrees. Similarly, this ACB is going to be 45 degrees. Now in this triangle ABC, this one here, I can say tan 45 is going to be AB by BC, perpendicular by base, right? Tan 45 is 1, AB is what? That's the height of the lighthouse, which is 75 meters. So BC is going to be 75 meters. That's our equation number 1. Yes? Yes, Gaurav, you have missed a few questions, but you can watch the recorded session later on. Thank you, Sandhya. Okay, now coming to the step number 3, we will talk about this bigger triangle now, ABD. So in this triangle, we can say tan 30 is equals to AB upon BD, again perpendicular upon base, right? So simply I'll say tan 30 is what? Tan 30 is 1 by root 3, right? AB is what? That's 75. BD is BC plus CD. So that means 75 plus CD. All I'll do is simply I'll cross multiply them. We get 75 root 3, 75 plus CD. CD is 75 root 3 minus 75. So CD is going to be 75 root 3 minus 1 meters. That's the distance between the two ships. All right, Saraswata, yes. Always tan value which is asked, there is nothing like that. See, I tell you the reason why we generally use tan. You can use cot also. Tan or cot, they both can be used. But why not we generally we use sine, cosec, or let's say sine, cosec, or any sec, cos. Why? Because all these values, sine, cos, cosec and sec, in all of them in the formula, right, like sine is perpendicular by hypotenuse, cos is base by hypotenuse, like this, they all are using hypotenuse, right? But in the questions you see the hypotenuse, when we draw these figures, the hypotenuse is not the common side amongst the two triangles, right? Whereas the base and this perpendicular, that's the common side between the two triangles. That's why we generally use tan or cot. We use sine and tan, not cot. No, Puneet, it's not like that. Generally, I tell you, in questions of trigonometry, generally you will notice we are using tan. You can use cot also, answer will be same. But we are not using sine, cos, cosec and sec because hypotenuse won't be common between the two triangles. This is the logical reason that we are not using it. Because even if you apply that, you will not get the answer, right? Because you will not be able to, make a connection between the two equations. So connection is important. Ma'am, in exam we have to write the answer in decimals or root. You can leave like this only. If the value of the root is given in the question, then you put it. Otherwise, you can leave it here only. Great, Anshita. Thank you. Yes. All right, let's move ahead. So we are done with the questions of some application of trigonometry now. So next we will be discussing surface areas and volumes. Okay. All right. So what all we have in this chapter in this year's syllabus, I mean in term 2 syllabus, we have formula of solids, combination of solids, surface area of combined solids, volume of combined solids and conversion of solids. Yes. All right. So first of all, one by one I'll be discussing this formula of solids. So formulas, I think nobody would have any confusion is this, because in this year's syllabus in grade 10th, the one new formula that was frustum. So frustum is deleted from this year's syllabus. All these formulas are something that you have been learning for the past, I guess, 2-3 years, because I think since grade 7 we start learning mensuration. How many chapter pending for this session? Today I'll be discussing 3 chapters and all. One is done. We're on the second chapter now. For case studies, you want me to make a video? It's already there. We have done a video on case studies, and basically we have completed case studies on every chapter that you have in term 2. It's there on YouTube. You can watch it. Right. All right. So hollow cylinder is also not there. Not in this year's syllabus. Right. Okay. So here we are talking about the formulas of solids. So first let's start off with cube. So we all know cube have the same all the sides basically. Cube is basically how a 3D object is formed. Let's say I have a square, that's a 2D shape, right? If I keep piling up squares of the same dimension on top of each other, we get a cube, right? So here each side here is represented with A. So lateral surface area, that means I'm talking about the 4 sides of the cube, the 4 faces of the cube, right? So that excludes the top and the bottom. So that's going to be 4A square. Each will have an area of, each face has an area of A square. So 4 faces means 4A square. Total surface area, we include all the 6 surfaces. That's going to be 6A square, and volume is nothing but that's A cube. Simple one. Yes. Alright. Then coming to the cuboid. For cuboid, when we talk about lateral surface area, we know that it's got length, breadth and height. Lateral surface area means we do not include the top and the bottom face. So that's going to be 2HL plus B, right? And when we talk about the total surface area, that means we're talking about all the 6 surfaces. That's 2 times LB plus BH plus HL. Volume is LBH. Yes, I am not spending too much time here because I know you all are aware with the formulas, right? We start learning this since we are in grade 7th. Alright. Let's take a look at the next one. So we have cylinder. We talk about the curved surface area, that's 2 pi RH. Total surface area is 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R square, because we are including the top and the bottom face as well, right? Talking about volume, that's pi R square H, right? Circle has an area of pi R square. If you keep piling up circles of the same dimension on top of each other such that it reaches a height H, you get the cylinder, right? It's absolutely, this is about visualization. So if you want to have a better clarity on surface areas and volumes, we have done one shot sessions also. Please go and watch it. Yes. Whatever doubts you have, that will be cleared. For formulas, if you need a PDF for the formulas and all the the basic things that we have in term 2, we have done a session on the formula sheet. So there you will get the PDF in the description. Coming to the sphere with a radius r, so its curved surface area is 4 pi r square and volume is 4 upon 3 pi r cube. CSA means absolutely, Rajia, right, curved surface area, right. And then a hemisphere, so Lohita M, it's not in the syllabus. Hemisphere with radius r, curved surface area is 2 pi r square. When you say total surface area, you are including this surface as well, right, the top one. So that's a circle, that means area is pi r square. So 2 pi r square plus pi r square gives you 3 pi r square. And volume is half of the volume of sphere. So that's going to be 2 by 3 pi r cube. Talking about the cone, when I say curved surface area, I'm not talking about I'm not considering the bottom surface. We are only considering the curved surface. That's going to be pi r L. Total surface area is pi r L plus pi r square, because we are considering this base also. That will have an area of pi r square. And volume is going to be 1 upon 3 pi r square H. So what is L here? L is the slant height, which is square root of r square plus h square. Yes? Right. Coming to the combination of solids. So in this year's syllabus we have combination of solids, right? So we are just combining 2 or more solids. Like here you can see this tent, right? The cylindrical tent. This comprises of a cone which has a radius r1, height h1, and a cylinder, radius r2 and height h2, right? And talking about this, here you can see it comprises of a cylinder and 2 hemispheres, but they all have the same radius, and cylinder has a height of h. So this is about the combination of solids. When you know the formulas, it's easier for you to just apply it, right? Let's move ahead. Now we will talk about conversion of solids. So this is about volume basically. So when solids are converted, basically the solid is reshaped. In such cases, volume remains the same. one way to guess, like in the question we have to find out the volume or not. Let's say you come across such words like melted. Earlier also I have mentioned this, like melted, recasted, broken into, or reshaped. Words like this, if you find that in the question, that means you have to find out the volume. So not find out the volume, basically you have to apply the volume because volume remains same. Here we have got three spheres with radius r. When they are melted, right, using heat, a bigger sphere is formed. So obviously when these spheres are melted, the amount of material will remain same. That's why we say volume will remain same, right? Again, when it is melted, a cube is formed with the side length a. When this is melted, again we get the three small spheres back. So what we are trying to say here is that when something is reshaped, when a solid is reshaped, the volume will remain the same. So sum of volume of smaller spheres, that would be equal to the volume of the larger sphere, and that would be equal to the volume of the cube. Ma'am, when we see CSA of hemisphere, do we consider circle in the bottom? No. When we are talking about CSA of hemisphere, this is a hemisphere. We are only considering this surface, right? This surface, when you talk about a bowl, right? When we say TSA, then we consider the top part also, right? Varuna, I think I have answered to your question. Yes? Ma'am, tell me difference between cylinder and a hollow cylinder. See, when you have a, like in this year, obviously we don't have hollow cylinder questions. So in a hollow cylinder, let's say when you talk about a pipe, right? In pipe, it has some thickness, right? This is the thickness. The question will mention it, the inner radius and the outer radius. In such cases, that comes under the hollow cylinder, right? The radii will be different, right? So CSA is curved surface area. Thank you, Sonali. Thank you, Jenny. All right. So this was about the basics and what all we have this in that chapter and the formulas. So let's not waste any more time here. I know that you all already know this. So that was just a quick review of what we have learned. So let's start off with the previous year questions of surface areas and volumes. So here we go. So in the following figure, a tent is in the shape of a cylinder surmounted by a conical top of the same diameter. If the height and diameter of cylindrical part are 2.1 meter and 3 meter respectively, and slant height of conical part is 2.8 meters. This is the slant height. Find the cost of canvas to make the tent if the canvas is available at the rate of rupees 500 per square meter. That means for 1 meter square it costs rupees 500, right? Yes. So one simple thing, when we are talking about the cost of canvas, I need to find out the area first, right? The amount of canvas that would be used, area. And when I say area, see this tent actually shapes like a cylinder which is surmounted by a conical top. So obviously there is nothing here. There is nothing here. This is empty. There is no tent at the bottom also. So what we will be doing is we will be finding out the curved surface area of both of them, the cone as well as the cylinder, right? And we are going to add them up, right? Yes? Right, absolutely, Lohita, right. So what I'm going to do here is, for the conical portion, first of all, we have the radius, that's 1.5, slant height is also there. I'm denoting the curved surface area with S1. So we have S1 is pi RL, pi times 1.5 times 2.8, that's going to be 4.2 pi meter square. Yes. So this cloth that we are using here, right? So the area of this canvas, area of this, the cloth that we are using to form this tent. All right. Then talking about the cylindrical portion, radius is same and height is 2.1, right? So curved surface area for the cylindrical part, I'm denoting that with S2, that's 2 pi RH. Let's put everything here, 2 pi 1.5 times 2.1, 6.3 pi meter square, right? So this is going to be what? Area of canvas is S1 plus S2, 4.2 pi plus 6.3 pi, this is 10.5 pi, 10.5 into 22 by 7, that's 33 meters square. So the total cost of canvas that we will have here is 500 into 33, that's 16,500. Yes, that's the answer. Sujata. Yes. What doubt you have? Which step? Simply, आपको क्या करना है? आपको curved surface area find करना है, cone का as well as cylinder का. Why curved surface area? Because tent यहाँ पर नहीं होगा, right? This is empty, right? And bottom पे भी नहीं होगा. There is nothing at the bottom. There is nothing at the floor. So that's why we are finding out curved surface area. Yes, I hope this is clear. Yeah? Any doubt still here? Is area of sphere half of hemisphere, or you are saying area of hemisphere half of sphere? It should have been the other way around. See, area of sphere, that's basically 4 pi r square. Hemisphere, as the name suggests, hemi means half. So that is going to be exactly half of the sphere. Yes, Gungun, crystal clear, no doubt, right? Sujata, clear, great. Let's move ahead, let's take a look at the next question, but you will solve it. Alright, so it says a solid toy is in the form of a hemisphere surmounted by a right circular cone of same radius. The height of the cone is 10 centimeter and radius of base is 7 centimeter. Determine the volume of the toy. Also find the area of the colored sheet required to cover the toy. You have the value of pi as well as square root of 149, and I'm giving you 60 seconds for this. Let's start the timer. Quickly solve this question. Give your answers in the comment section. Lohita, there is nothing like that. See, don't just think that if you have opted for the standard math, don't think that it's going to come only from the NCERT. Yes, question will be NCERT based only, right? But there might be a possibility questions are a little bit twisted. So it's better that you practice a little bit more. Yes? Absolutely, Ankit, I do. Yes, Mohammed Saad, yes. I can see answers. Nikesh says it's B. Okay. Gungun says 1232 5664 centimeter square. Okay. Bhavi says it's B. Everybody is saying it's B. Yeah. Pavan says B. For easier calculations, yes. Okay. So time is up. I'll answer this question in a while, Gauri. So correct answer is option A. Sujan says it's A. Yes, everybody is saying it's B. How come? Okay, let's check the solution. You can see where you went wrong. Okay, मैं हिंदी में भी बता देती हूँ. So here you have a cone and a hemisphere. एक cone और hemisphere हैं दोनों, right? And आपको cone का height दिया हुआ है and radius, दोनों का एक common radius है, that is 7 centimeter. Now everybody is saying A. Okay, so we have to first determine the volume of the toy. Volume of toy निकालना है and colored sheet required to cover the toy. So we have to find out the area of the colored sheet also, right? So height of the cone, let's say this is h. Radius, let's say that is r. Okay, so volume of toy is going to be volume of cone plus volume of hemisphere. All you need to do is, see, when it comes to finding out the volume, that's really simple. There's no confusion. Simply you find out their volumes and just add them up. Yes. All right, don't worry, Lohita. Yeah. So I'll just simply write here the formulas. 1/3 pi r square h. Hemisphere is exactly half of sphere, right? So half of the volume of sphere, that is 4/3 pi r cube. So why we have done this? Why we have taken common at this step only? This will make the calculation simpler. So when it comes to those chapters in which you feel that calculation part is really heavy or that's very challenging, you need to know these small things, right? So this is a small tip that I would like to give you, that you take common at this step only. When you feel that there is a lot of calculation involved, instead of finding out the volume separately, put their formulas together, take out the common part. So you get this. Now you substitute the values. So calculation will become a little simpler. Yes. Okay, let's put all the values. 1/3, 22/7 into 7 square, 10 plus 2 times 7. You get 1232 centimeter cube. That's the volume of the toy, right? Palak, it's standard based questions. So see, whatever I'm discussing, this is important from exam point of view, right? So this is the time of doing smart study, right? Not hard work. Hard work तो हम पूरा साल बहुत कर लिया हमने, right? We had a lot of time. Good going, no doubt. Great. Coming to the area part. So area of the colored sheet. So again, see, to find out the area, the sheet will be covering the outer surface of this toy, right? So this will be covering the cone part, the outer cone part, and this part of hemisphere, correct? This is the reason I am finding out the curved surface area of both of them, right? So just put the formulas pi r L 2 pi r square. They both have the common radius. So I'll simply put all the values here and we get 22 into square root of 149 and this thing. Square root of 149 already given in the question. We have 576.4 centimeter square. That's the answer. Yes. I hope this is clear to everyone. Yes? Tech of YT. Yes. Which step? Any doubt still here? Varuna B, yes ma'am. Quick glance of this question, sure. So what we have done here is simply, this is the figure, right? In the question, height of the cone is given, radius is given. So first we are finding out the volume. Let's put everything here. Take common from the formula only, we get this. Now let's put all the values over here. You get 1232 centimeter cube. Yes. Puneet Kaur, no ma'am. See, this no ma'am always confuses me. No ma'am, is there no doubt or you have a doubt? Yes. Quickly, when will you discuss questions from circles? Circles is already done. In part 1, marathon part 1, you can watch it. It's there. Circles, constructions, it's done. Varuna, no doubts. Yes. Ayurudha, no doubt. Yes. Lavya is giving thumbs up. Nikesh, no doubt. Great. So this is the volume. And when we talk about the area, so simply we will adding the curved surface area. Why? Because the colored sheet is covering the toy from outside, right? So from outside, obviously, this will not be considered in that case, this base thing, right? So simply put all the values and you get 576.4 centimeter square. Great, great. It's clear to everyone. Okay. So this was about the previous year questions. Now let's discuss some important questions from NCERT. So here we go. So a medicine capsule, A medicine capsule is in the shape of a cylinder with two hemispheres stuck to each of its ends. The length of the entire capsule is 14 millimeters and the diameter of the capsule is 5 millimeters. Find its surface area. Ma'am, this was basic math question. See, it's not necessary that it will come in the basic math paper or in the standard one. Standard one is also going to be a balanced paper. It's not that all the questions are going to be difficult, right? CBSE doesn't set the paper this way. For practicing the sample papers, there are so many books in the market, right? There is ULIKE, there is Arihant, so many books are there. You can purchase any one of them for sample papers. Square root of 149, it was mentioned in the question already. Okay, so question is saying that the diameter of the capsule is also given. We have to find out the surface area. Okay, so we can see that it's basically, this figure is a combination of solids. We have a cylinder and we have got two hemispheres. So to find out the total surface area, what we will do is we find out the curved surface area of both the hemispheres and the curved surface area of the cylinder also. Yes, right. Okay, so curved surface area of cylinder is 2 pi RH. For hemisphere, it's 2 pi r square. Simply, diameter of this capsule, that's 5 millimeters. So radius is going to be what? That's 2.5 millimeters, right? Length of the entire capsule is given. That's 14 millimeters. So this much part, this is important here. This much part is 2.5. This much part is 2.5. So from this 14 millimeters, I'll subtract this height and this length to get the length of the cylinder, right? So what is the length of the cylinder going to be in that case? So simply this will be 14 minus 5, that's 9 millimeters, right? Okay, so curved surface area of hemisphere 2 pi r square. Let's put everything here. What do you get? You get 275 by 7 millimeters square, right? 220, maybe you're finding out the other one first. Total length of the cylinder we just discussed, that's going to be 9 millimeters and 2 pi RH is the curved surface area of the cylinder. Height of cylinder, that's 9. We just got the value, right? So this is going to be 990 by 7 millimeters square, right? Okay, so now we have the curved surface areas for both of them. So since we have got two hemispheres, right? Two hemispheres are there. Simply I'll multiply that with 2 plus the curved surface area of the cylinder. That becomes 550 by 7. Plus 990 by 7, 1540 by 7, which is 220 millimeters square. Absolutely right answer. All of you are giving the right answer. So everybody has understood this, right? Yes. No doubt still here? Okay, okay, awesome. Let's move ahead. Let's take a look at the next question. Now you have to solve this, right? So cylindrical bucket of height 32 centimeter and base radius 18 centimeter is filled with sand. This bucket is emptied on the ground and a conical heap of sand is formed. If the height of the conical heap is 24 centimeter, find the radius of the heap. 4 options you can see here. I'm giving you 60 seconds for this. Quickly solve this question. Absolutely not, Sonali. You are one of the student who is regularly attending the classes. Yes. That shows how disciplined you are. That's nice. Nikesh says it's 36. Hari says it's option A. How can we do easy calculations? See, depends on the chapter. I tell you something. When you talk about the calculation hacks, if you're talking about that, we have done a session on this. You can go and watch it. It's tips and tricks to make calculation faster. There I've told how to find out the square root faster and square root and how to multiply 2-digit numbers, something like this. These are the small tricks that you should know actually. Second thing, when it comes to chapter like this, like surface areas and volumes, it's a very calculative chapter, right? So even if you know how to solve a question, you might end up getting a wrong answer due to some silly mistake or something. So small things that you need to know is like, let's say, like I did in that sum, I took common at the formula step only. So these are small tips that I would like to give you so that it reduces your time also and calculation also will become simpler. R.D. Sharma book is best for board exam, right? All the books are good. See, books के नाम different होते हैं. I tell you something. Questions इधर उधर बस ये हुए हैं. You can purchase any book, and I think at this point of time it would not be possible for anyone to do the entire R.D. Sharma. Just do the NCERT, do the NCERT exemplar, try out sample papers. That's it. Okay. So correct answer is option A, and all of you have given the right answer. Yes. So we all know how to solve it, but let's just take a quick look at the solution, that how we need to write this in the exam. So the cylindrical bucket of height 32 centimeter, you can see here, and radius is given. It is emptied on the ground and a conical heap is formed. Then the conical heap has a height of 24 centimeter. You need to find out the radius of the heap. So we will simply say, again, it is emptied on the ground. Obviously the volume will remain same. It is reshaped, we can say, but volume will be same. So I can say volume of sand in bucket would be equal to volume of conical heap. So volume of cylinder is, that's pi r square h. Volume of cone, that's 1/3 pi r square h. We all know this. So radius of the bucket, cylindrical bucket, I'm denoting this with R1, that's 18 centimeter, right? And height, I'm denoting this with H1, that's 32 centimeters, okay? And height of conical heap, that with H2, okay? And then volume of the cylindrical bucket, that's pi R1 square H1. Keep pi as it is. Somebody just asked me, calculation simple kaise kare? So do not put pi in such kind of questions when you are equating it. You will see later on at the final step, this will get cancelled out. Or you can solve these kind of sums in single step also. Yes, so pi 18 square times 32, you get this value, right? That's 10,368 pi centimeter cube. Coming to the radius of the heap, let's say that's R, so that's going to be, let's say that's R2, that's going to be 1/3 pi R2 square times H2. Keep pi as it is, put the values here, you get 8 pi R2 squares, right? So I'm just going to equate both of them. Pi will get cancelled, right? 8 will cancel out this. You get 1296 equal to R2 square. So R2 is 36 centimeter. Instead of doing it in 3 steps, you could have done this question in 1 step also. Like the volume of cylinder is what? That's pi r square h. So pi, what is radius here? 18 times 18 times 32. If I was to solve this question in the paper, I would do it this way in one single step. And 1/3 pi, radius we don't know, let's say that's r square, okay, and height is 24. So I'll simply cancel out pi from here. This is 3 times 1, 3 times 8, 8 times 1, 8 times 4, and simply I'll take the square root of it, right, equal to r square. I'm going to split this up in a very simple calculation. These are, I would say, calculation hacks only. See, 18 is 2 times 9, 18 is 2 times 9, 4 is 2 times 2, that's equals to r. So from these two we get 1, 2, from this also, and from this also we get 1, 9. You get what? 36. No need to do calculations and all, it's all mental calculation, because you see all the numbers got so small. Yes? Right? So this is another way to do it. rather than doing it in 3 steps, you can just solve it in 1 step, and then the calculation got very simpler. We did not have big numbers now. Oh yes, my neighbor is back. Hey Shadab Icon, yes. How to revise maths, because exam is not even a month ahead now. Simply, we did a session last 50 days strategy, but now we don't have even 50 days. So what you can do is, if you have done your NCRT well, your NCRT exemplar nicely, I would suggest that just do the important questions of NCRT. See, this is the right time that you do self-study more. Yes, so do important questions from NCRT, do not leave the examples, and important ones from NCRT exemplar, and best is sample paper practice, right? Keep a stopwatch with you, set the timer, and then do it. Yes, it will save a lot of time. Do it this way. So these are small things, but trust me, these are chapter specific. Like when it comes to surface areas and volumes, I would suggest you go it this way. But this is something that you should know at the very beginning of the question when you read it. Okay, that we have to equate the volumes, right? Rather than putting the values for solving it step by step, I can do it this way. This will only click your mind when you have practiced well. Yes. Otherwise, you will be going step by step and wasting a lot of time. And you might not be getting the right answer also, because it involves a lot of calculation. You do it in the same way, Sonali? Yes? That's good. Chapter-wise revision, I'm not saying it is not good. See, it all depends on you. You would know better how much you're actually prepared now, right? I'm saying once you have done, you are prepared, you have prepared all the chapters, right? From your NCRT book, from an exemplar, then start doing sample papers, because sometimes I tell you what happens is, I know all the chapters because I've done chapter-wise revision. But when you see a paper, the questions are going to be mixed, right? So one question is from surface areas and volume, then you have to switch your mind to the another chapter. At times, you need to, basically I would say you need to prepare your brain so that it can work accordingly. Yes? Yes, critical questions also we have done a session. You can watch that as well. I hope, Sonali, it's actually helping you. Right. So these are small things which actually when I see while solving a question, so I always tell you that these are the things, like when you see a word problem, I always say do the literal translation. You will never, trust me, you will never get a wrong equation. Yes. Ma'am, how R2 became R? Here R2 became R, this one. Oh, this I assumed it. क्वेश्चन में हमने R2 से ही सॉल्व किया है, ये मैंने अज्यूम करा है यहाँ पर जस्ट फॉर नॉर्मल सिंप्लीफिकेशन, मैंने एग्जैक्टली R2 यूज नहीं करा है. I was just telling you that this is also one way that you can solve this question. So don't get confused R2 or R से, right? Because radius was unknown in the cone. Wow, amazing, Siraj. That's nice. Yes, thank you, Aarti. Case-based series, we have done a session on case-based questions. Yes, every question we have covered, we have covered questions from every chapter of term 2. It's there on YouTube. You can watch the recorded session. Okay, let's move ahead. So we are done with the questions on surface areas and volumes. Next, we have statistics. Yes, I think this is one of the easiest chapter of term 2, because all we need is formulas. That's it. So what do we have? In statistics in term 2, we have the mean of group data, median of group data, and mode of group data. So let's take a quick look at the definitions of this. So what is mean actually? It's basically a measure of central tendency which gives the average of the data. Mean is about the average, right? So two methods we have in term 2 syllabus. One is the direct method. So mean, we denote that by x bar, which is summation fi xi by summation fi. And sometimes you might have to find out the value of xi in the question. That's the class mark, which is upper limit plus lower class limit by 2. Another method that we have here is assumed mean method, where we assume the mean, right? So an arbitrary mean is chosen, which is called assumed mean, somewhere in the middle values of the xi, right? Not the exact middle value, somewhere. Sometimes we have the even number of observations, sometimes we have odd number of observations. So depending on that we pick up. So x bar is a plus summation fi di by summation fi, di is xi minus a. Thank you, Aditya Mishra. Yes. Missed frequencies of median and mode. We have done, in statistics session, we have covered such kind of questions. Yes. Alright, now we will talk about the median. So median of a set of data is the middlemost number, as the name suggests, right? Middlemost number or central value in the set, right? So, but in grade 10th we have a proper formula to find out the median, right? Which is L plus n by 2 minus CF by F times H. L is the lower limit of the median class, N is the number of observations, F is the frequency of median class, CF is the cumulative frequency of preceding class, H is the class size. Yes? Yes. Okay. So, coming to the mode. So, mode is the value that is repeatedly occurring in a given set, which has the highest frequency, right? Okay. So, mode is L plus F1 minus F0 by 2 F1 minus F0 in minus F2 into H. Yes, for odd or evens. Are you talking about how to pick up the value? Yes, for the median and mean. Rukmani, I'm not able to understand your question. Okay. So, everything over here, L is the lower limit of the modal class, H is the class interval size, F1 is the frequency of the modal class, F0 frequency of the preceding class, F2 is the frequency of the succeeding class. So, this was about the formulas and what these actually are. Now, let's start off with the questions. So, first I will be discussing the previous year questions on these topics. So, the table below shown the salaries of 280 persons. Calculate the median salary of the data. So, we can see the data over here, right? It is given. It came in CBSE 2018 3-mark question, right? Yes. Great marks in term 1. Now in pressure, but I'll be able to. Don't worry, Abhi. That's, see, if you did good in term 1, that's really nice, but don't be pressurized, right? See, just be relaxed, be calm. That's okay. Marks ke piche mat bhago. Yes. All right. So, first of all, when we talk about the median, we have to find out the cumulative frequency, right? That's what is cumulative frequency. The first frequency will remain same, then we keep adding up the next one to it. So, this becomes 182. When we add this and add 63 to 182, you get 245. Similarly, you keep adding on the next value. At last, we get 280. You see, this number and this number is same. So, the sum of all the frequencies will give you the last number of the cumulative frequency. Yes? Thank you, Shiva Ranjani. Yes. Thank you, Aditya Mishra. All right. So, see, why I'm telling you this thing, because sometimes it happens that you might be given cumulative frequency in the question, not the frequency. Then how will you judge that this is cumulative frequency or frequency? So, in such questions, this number will always be given in the question, right? The total number. So, if total number matches with the last value, that means cumulative frequency is given to us. Okay, so this is the way to check it. Now, what is n? That is sum of all the frequencies, summation fi, that's 280. I will first find out n by 2, which is 140. Now, in this column of cumulative frequency, we will check the value which is just greater than the cumulative frequency. That means which is just greater than 140. So, what is just greater than 140? That's 182. So, the class which is corresponding to this, that's 10 to 15. So, this is going to be my median class. Yes? Okay. So, this is the median class now. So, this is the formula of median, right? N by 2 is 140. So, we have this. L is what? That's the lower limit of the median class. So, this is the median class. What is the lower limit? That's 10. H, the class size interval, the class interval size, that's going to be 5. Frequency is going to be 133, but cumulative frequency is going to be 49. We always consider cumulative frequency of the preceding class, right? That's 49. Yes. Siraj, the question that you're asking is basically that we used to do in grade 9th, right? So these kind of questions, I would say, see, obviously I have not said the paper, but I would still say that these kind of questions might come in 2 marks or something, because obviously a lot of steps are not involved. These are going to be very small questions, right? So whatever you have learned in the previous grade, right? You learned about the about this ungroup data. So there are, it's not that it cannot be asked, but there are obviously lesser chances, right? But still, if you come across such questions in the book, you can prepare it. Yes. Now we have everything. Now all we need is just put all these values here. Yes. Let's put all the values. What do we get? We get rupees. We get rupees 13.42k. K over actually represents this, that it is 1000 rupees, 13,420. One thing I would like to add on here is that when we talk about the questions of statistics, please, writing the unit is important in statistics also. Don't just write 13.42 or something like you are giving right now also. Make it a habit of giving the answer along with the units. Yes. Right, so this is it. And what is this K actually? K comes from the Greek word kilo, which means 1,000, right? And the Greeks would likewise show million as M, short for mega. So let me know if you knew that in the comment section. Yes? That's amazing, Hari. No, Sujata. Crystal clear, right? So don't write K. You can simply give the proper answer because K is actually representing 1,000, right? So write the answers with rupees. K is not the unit. I think you got me wrong. K is not the unit. K means 1,000, right? So 13.42, K is representing 1,000 over here. This is going to be 13,420. Unit is the rupees here, right? So give it along with the units. Okay, let's move ahead. So this was about the previous year question. Now we'll be discussing the NCERT important questions. Alright, so here is a question for you to solve. So the following distribution shows the daily pocket allowance of children of a locality. The mean pocket allowance is rupees 18. Find the missing frequency. And you can see here, I'm giving you 60 seconds to solve this question. Quickly solve the question and give your answer. Rupees 13.42 thousand. No, don't write it this way. K is representing 1,000. So you multiply this with 1,000. You get 13,420 rupees. Yes. Teachers have cut small marks for small things. It happens. That's why. See why I'm emphasizing on these things, that write the units in statistics also. When it comes to trigonometry, give the proper explanation at the beginning. So I think that some of you might not be knowing this thing, that marks get deducted for these small things. So you should know this thing and make it a habit that even when you're practicing at home, you write all these things that I'm telling you right now. Yes. Shivani says it's 20. Okay, Ashna B. So everybody is giving the same answer. Okay, time is up. So correct answer is B, absolutely. So you all know how to solve this, right? So this is a question of missing frequency. I don't know, but I don't remember the name, but somebody asked me to solve a question of missing frequency. So here we have one. So this is the missing frequency which we are denoting with F. Mean pocket allowance is 18 over here. So mean is given. So what I'll do is I'm using the direct method over here, which is x bar equal to summation fi xi upon summation fi. Right? So this is the table which is already given. Right? Summation fi. Take the sum. You get f plus 44. Right? Then we find out the midpoint, which is xi, which is lower limit plus upper limit upon 2. So 11 plus 13 by 2, that's 12. 13 plus 15 by 2, that's 14. Similarly, for each one of them, you can find out, right? Once we have xi, then we find out fi xi. Simply, I'll multiply each value from xi with the corresponding value of xi. So 12 times 7, 84. Similarly, 6 times 14 is 84. Like this, you find for each one of them. F times 20 is 20f. Right? Then we have to add them up. Once I add them up, I get summation fi xi, which is 752 plus 20f. Right? Yes. H is the class size. Simply, let's say if I here have to find out the class size, that's going to be 2. Right? How can you find y? Y, what is y here? Yes. Sorry, Vineet, I'm not able to understand the question. What is y here? Right, so we have these values. I have mean also. So I'm using this method. With this formula, I'm substituting the values here. 18 equals to 752 plus 20f upon 44 plus f. Let's just cross multiply this. What do we get? We land up to this step. We get 2f equals to 40. So f is going to be 20 here. That's the missing frequency. Yes? Clear? Yes? We need Gaur. What is y here? There is no y in the question. Aditya Mishra, done. Sonali, clear. We can move ahead. Great, great. Let's move ahead. Let's take a look at the next question. So So the following data gives the distribution of the total monthly household expenditure of 200 families. The total of the families is given. Find the modal monthly expenditure of the families, also find the mean monthly expenditure of the families, right? Basically, you have to find out mode as well as the mean. So first, these are the formulas we know for mode and mean, right? Okay. So first we are using here to find out the mode. First look at the frequencies here. So which is the maximum, which is coming the maximum number of times, which has the highest frequency. So the highest frequency, if I see here, that's going to be 40, right? So that means the class interval which is corresponding to this, it's this one. So that's our modal class. That's how we find out the modal class first of all. So this is the lower limit of the modal class, that's 1500, right? And this value is going to be F1, this is F0, this is F2. This is F0. Students sometimes they call it F0. So you can call it whatever way you want to. So that's how we can find all these values, and H over here is 500. So this is the formula. Let's put everything here. What do we get? We get 1847.83 rupees. Unit is important. Yes. Even when you're giving the answer in the comment section, please write it along the units. Yes. I hope this is clear to everyone. Yep. 2662.5. We are talking about mode right now. Okay. This is clear. Let's move ahead. Now we will discuss about the mean. So frequency is given, class interval is given. Total of frequency is already given in the question, 200 families. So this is 200, no need to calculate this. First we will find out the xi. How do we do that? Lower limit plus upper limit by 2. So 1000 plus 1500 by 2, 1250, like this you find for each one of them. Yes? Yes. So coming to di, I am using the assumed mean method here, which is xi minus a. So how we assume the mean? So this is assumed mean, right? Values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have even numbers over here. That's 8. 8 is an even number. So what you can do is 1, 2, 3. Either you can pick this value and you can leave these ones, right? Or you can pick, let's say, this value, you leave this one. See, whatever value you pick, it doesn't matter because it is assumed mean, right? Answer will not change. So generally we pick up the middle value so that the calculation becomes simpler. That's the reason. So here, assumed mean, right? Assumed mean, we are taking this as 2750, right? So xi minus this 1250 minus 2750, you get minus 1500. Similarly, you will find for each one of them. Then we find out fi di. So I'll multiply the value from fi to the corresponding value in di. So that's going to be 24 times minus 1500 minus 36,000, like this. Do not forget to write the signs also. This is important. Frequency of mode is first one, then obviously that will be 0 in that case. Yes, Ashna? A is representing the assumed mean. Ma'am, in CBSE we can skip assumed method. In that place we can use direct mean method. Please guide. Absolutely, you can use direct method here also. It is not mandatory that you have to use assumed mean method. Why I did this? So that I could discuss both the methods in this session only. But if the name of the method is mentioned in the question, please solve with that method only. Yes. If name is not mentioned, then it is okay. You can use any method, whichever you want to. Yes. Actually, the values are bigger. So this is also one reason that we are not using direct method over here. Rest, it depends all on you. Whichever you find easier, you can use that. So summation fi di, that's minus 17,500. So this is summation fi, this is summation fi di. And what is assumed mean? That's 2,750. H is 500. So mean is a plus summation fi di by summation fi. I'll put everything over here. See, we have used the sign as well, right? Do not forget to write the sign. So I'll put it here. You get 2,662.5 rupees. Unit, along with unit you will write. Ma'am, for smaller numbers, direct method is easier, right? Absolutely. This is also one of the reason, right? Okay, so this was the last question of today's session, but we are not done yet. Homework time, yes? So 2 questions we have for you in the homework. First is from a solid cylinder whose height is 2 2.4 centimeter and diameter is 1.4 centimeter. A conical cavity of the same height and same diameter is hollowed out. Find the total surface area of the remaining solid to the nearest centimeter square. Pi is this. Another one is from the top of a 7-meter high building, the angle of elevation of the top of the cable tower is 60 degree. The angle of depression of its foot is 45 degree. Determine the height of the cable tower. You can solve these questions and give your answers in the comment section, right? You all know how to do it. Yes? And don't worry, we have got you covered. We have lined up many more sessions for you from every Monday to Friday to make you exam ready. So we are here for you. And we know that we have got a free link for trial classes also in the description below. Click on that link and get all your doubts clarified instantly during the class. And please like, share and subscribe so that you do not miss any new updates from us. And a new update, one important thing for all of you. Yes. Part 1 was good. Yes. Next session. All right. So this session, we are done with it, but yes, there is an important update for you. So right after this, there is a video that you can watch on the channel. So basically, we have reached 50K subscribers, right? And that's really amazing. That's so nice. I'm so glad. Yes, thank you so much. So there is a video on that. You can watch it after this. And yes, Monday also we are coming live with a session on that. Yes. Yes, Virat, I answered to that question. In that case, F0 would be 0. Basic maths for NCERT exemplar, you can just do the important ones. But main focus should be on NCERT. Yes. Thank you, Nikesh. Yes. Thank you, Ria. All right, guys. So I'll see you soon. Yes. Keep practicing. Yeah. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.